Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to dive into an intriguing topic: the 10 things you need to know about Freemasons. The subtitle is 10 Surprising Facts About Freemasons for Dummies, so get ready for some eye-opening insights. Over the next few moments, we'll explore key facts, uncover myths, and shed light on this fascinating organization. Whether you're new to the subject or just curious, there's plenty to discover. So let's get started. Now, let's take a closer look at what this presentation will cover. First, we'll explore the fascinating history of Freemasonry and some of the notable figures who were members. You'll see how this organization has influenced history through its members' achievements. Then, we'll delve into the rituals and symbols that are central to Freemasonry. These elements carry deep meaning and help foster a sense of brotherhood. Moving on, we'll examine how Freemasonry contributes to society through philanthropy and community involvement, highlighting its commitment to giving back. Next, we'll look at the connection between Freemasonry and architecture, noting how its symbols and principles are reflected in grand structures around the world. We'll also touch on the relationship between Freemasonry and religion, clarifying common misconceptions and exploring the organization's spiritual aspects. Then, we'll consider its global reach, how Freemasonry has expanded across continents, uniting people from diverse backgrounds under shared values. We'll also explore its internal structure and degrees, revealing how members progress through different levels of knowledge and responsibility. Plus, I'll share some surprising facts that you probably didn't know about Freemasonry, making this journey even more intriguing. Finally, we'll wrap up with a concise conclusion that ties all these points together, helping you understand how Freemasonry continues to influence society today. So, let's get started and uncover the many layers of this intriguing organization. Welcome to this slide on the introduction to Freemasonry. As we explore this topic, I want to highlight some key points that will help us understand its significance. Freemasonry is one of the world's oldest and most well-known fraternal organizations. It has a rich history that dates back several centuries and has evolved over time. At its core, Freemasonry focuses on personal development, moral integrity, and brotherhood. Members come together to promote ethical behavior and support each other's growth, both morally and spiritually. What's fascinating is that Freemasonry uses symbolism and rituals to convey its teachings, which might seem mysterious at first, but serve as tools for moral instruction. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding Freemasonry helps us see how secret societies have influenced history and culture. It's not just about secret rituals, it's about shared values and community. As we continue, we'll see how these principles have shaped their actions and impacted society at large. Let's take a closer look at what Freemasonry really is. Essentially, it's a fraternal organization that dates back to the late 1500s and early 1600s. Its roots are linked to the medieval guilds of stonemasons, and over time, it evolved into a society focused on moral and ethical development. Members use symbols and rituals that have been passed down through generations, aiming to promote personal growth, brotherhood, and charity. Now, at its core, Freemasonry is built on key principles like brotherhood, which emphasizes camaraderie and support, charity, encouraging members to help others, and values like truth and integrity. These principles foster a sense of community, both within the organization and in society at large, and inspire members to act morally and ethically in their daily lives. And then there's the fascinating symbolism. Freemasonry is rich with emblems, like the square and compass, which serve as visual tools to teach important moral lessons. These symbols aren't just decorative, they prompt self-reflection and reinforce the values of honesty, charity, and the pursuit of knowledge. So whether it's through rituals or symbols, the organization continually encourages personal development within a supportive brotherhood. All of these elements, its origins, core principles, and symbolism, work together to create a unique environment focused on growth, ethics, and community. And that's really what ties into the larger theme of understanding the deeper purpose behind Freemasonry. Now, let's talk about the basics of joining Freemasonry. Many people think it's some kind of secret society with hidden agendas, but that's actually a misconception. In truth, Freemasonry is all about promoting moral integrity, serving the community, and encouraging personal growth. It's not about secret plots or sinister motives. Some believe that joining requires abandoning your religious faith, but that's not the case at all. Freemasonry respects all religions and focuses on shared ethical values and fellowship. The emphasis is on building character and community, not secrecy or exclusivity. When it comes to membership requirements, there are a few key points to keep in mind. Being of good character is essential. Most branches also require a belief in a higher power, which ties into the moral foundation of the organization. Often, potential members are invited to join. They don't just apply randomly. Sometimes, a family connection or previous involvement in the Masonic community can be a factor in eligibility. So, if you're interested in becoming a Freemason, the process usually starts with expressing your interest. You would reach out to a local lodge and complete an application. From there, a background check is conducted, and interviews are held to ensure you understand what the organization is about. Finally, existing members will vote on your membership. If accepted, you'll participate in initiation ceremonies that mark your formal entry. In essence, joining Freemasonry is about a genuine desire to grow morally and ethically, connect with others, and contribute positively to society. The process is thorough, but designed to ensure that those who join are committed to its core principles. Now, let's take a look at some of the most influential figures in history who were also Freemasons. You might be surprised to learn how many leaders, thinkers, and innovators shared this fraternity. From political leaders to scientists and writers, Freemasonry has attracted a wide range of prominent individuals. For example, we see figures like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, who played pivotal roles in shaping their nations. Their membership highlights how the values of Freemasonry, such as brotherhood, integrity, and a commitment to knowledge, resonated deeply with those seeking to make a difference. Other notable figures include Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Sir Winston Churchill, both of whom contributed significantly to culture and history. Recognizing this connection helps us understand how the ideals of Freemasonry have influenced not just secret societies, but the broader course of history through the actions of these remarkable individuals. This slide underscores that Freemasonry's reach extends far beyond its rituals and symbols. It's historically intertwined with some of the world's most impactful leaders. This connection also emphasizes how shared values can inspire people to pursue great achievements for the common good. As we continue, keep in mind that these figures exemplify how the principles of Freemasonry have historically aligned with leadership, innovation, and progress. Let's take a look at some of the most famous Freemasons who also played influential roles in history. First, when we consider political leaders, names like George Washington, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill come to mind. Their membership in Freemasonry often shaped their worldview, emphasizing core principles like liberty, equality, and fraternity. These ideals weren't just abstract concepts. They influenced their leadership styles and policies, fostering a sense of unity and moral purpose. Moving on to cultural icons, figures such as Mozart and Mark Twain also shared Masonic ties. Their involvement in Freemasonry helped shape their work and public values, promoting enlightenment, freedom, and brotherhood. These ideals resonated through their contributions to music, literature, and culture, leaving a lasting impact on modern society. And then, there are the great minds in science and philosophy, Sir Isaac Newton and Benjamin Franklin, for example. Their Masonic affiliations encouraged a spirit of inquiry and rational thought, which were central to their groundbreaking discoveries and ideas. Freemasonry's emphasis on knowledge and ethical standards played a role in advancing scientific progress and political philosophy, ultimately contributing to societal betterment. So, as we see, Freemasonry has historically been intertwined with leadership, culture, and scientific progress, reinforcing the overarching theme that shared values and principles often drive meaningful change across various spheres of life. Let's take a moment to look at some lesser-known but truly fascinating Freemasons from history. Throughout the years, a number of surprising figures, like Winston Churchill, Mark Twain, and Benjamin Franklin, have been members of the fraternity. Their involvement in Freemasonry often played a role in shaping their leadership qualities and creative pursuits. It really highlights how diverse the backgrounds of Freemasons are and how their values can influence their contributions across different fields. Moving on, it's important to recognize that many of these historical figures used their Masonic principles to drive societal change. They championed ideas like liberty, democracy, and philanthropy, values that continue to resonate today. Their efforts helped shape political systems, inspired social reforms, and promoted education for many communities. Ultimately, their legacy is a testament to the power of shared ideals and the impact of collective efforts. Understanding these connections helps us appreciate how Freemasonry has contributed to shaping modern society and fostering positive change across generations. Now, let's take a closer look at Freemasonry's rituals and symbols. These elements are really the heart of what makes Freemasonry unique and intriguing. The rituals, for example, are more than just ceremonies. They serve as a way to pass on moral lessons, values, and traditions in a structured and meaningful way. They often involve symbolic gestures, words, and actions that convey deeper meanings about personal growth and ethical conduct. As for symbols, they are everywhere in Freemasonry. You'll see tools like the compass and square, which are not just practical tools, but layered with symbolism about morality and virtue. These symbols act as visual cues, reminding members of the principles they strive to uphold, like integrity, honesty, and brotherhood. They also serve to create a sense of shared identity and continuity across generations. Connecting this to the overall theme, these rituals and symbols are not just about secrecy or tradition. They're about building a moral framework and a sense of community. They reinforce the values that Freemasons aim to live by and help forge a connection between members that spans history and geography. Understanding these elements really helps us appreciate the depth and purpose behind Freemasonry's practices. Let's take a closer look at the age of rituals within Freemasonry. These rituals have deep roots in medieval guild practices, which were not just about craftsmanship, but also about conveying moral values and community principles. Over time, these ceremonies evolved to include symbolic actions that help members understand fraternity on a deeper level and promote personal growth. As we explore their evolution, you'll notice that although the core principles have remained consistent, the rituals have adapted to reflect broader cultural shifts. Originally, they were closely tied to medieval stonemasonry, emphasizing skill and moral lessons through symbolic gestures. Today, modern practices still carry those moral lessons, but they also focus more on individual development and societal values, aligning with contemporary beliefs. So these rituals serve as a bridge, connecting the historical origins of craft and morality with the ongoing pursuit of personal and communal betterment. They remind us that Freemasonry is a living tradition, continuously evolving while staying true to its foundational principles. Now, let's take a closer look at understanding symbols in Freemasonry. Symbols are really the language of the craft. They communicate moral lessons and philosophical ideas that might be hard to express with words alone. For example, the square and compasses are perhaps the most recognizable symbols. They represent morality and the importance of maintaining balance in all aspects of life. The square teaches us about virtue and honesty, while the compasses remind us to keep our passions in check and stay within the bounds of ethical behavior. Then there's the all-seeing eye, which symbolizes divine watchfulness, reminding us that a higher power is always observing, encouraging us to act with integrity. The pillars, often seen at the entrance of a Masonic lodge, stand for strength and wisdom, foundations for personal growth and stability. These symbols are more than just images. They carry deep meanings that reflect core values like brotherhood, honesty, and self-improvement. They serve as powerful tools for teaching moral lessons, helping us understand complex philosophical ideas in a visual and memorable way. Overall, these symbols connect back to the overarching theme of the presentation, how Freemasonry emphasizes character development and ethical living through symbolic teachings. Each symbol invites us to reflect on our own journey toward moral and personal betterment. Now, let's turn our attention to philanthropy and community involvement. This slide highlights how our organization actively contributes to the communities we serve. It's about more than just business. It's about making a meaningful difference. We prioritize giving back through various initiatives, whether that's supporting local charities, volunteering, or creating programs that address community needs. By engaging in these efforts, we strengthen our relationships and demonstrate our commitment to social responsibility. This approach not only benefits those around us, but also aligns with our broader mission of positive impact. Ultimately, our community involvement reinforces that our success is interconnected with the well-being of the communities we operate in. Now, let's take a closer look at the significant contributions made by Freemasons through their charitable foundations. Throughout history, they've established numerous organizations dedicated to improving society, focusing on areas like education, healthcare, and community welfare. For example, they provide scholarships to help students achieve their goals, support hospitals to improve healthcare services, and assist communities during times of disaster. These efforts truly highlight their deep commitment to philanthropy and making a positive impact on society through collective effort. Additionally, Freemasons are known for their legacy projects, funding hospitals, schools, and libraries that serve communities for generations. These projects aren't just about immediate aid. They create lasting benefits, strengthening the social fabric and improving quality of life for many people over time. So, in essence, their charitable foundations and legacy projects reflect a long-standing tradition of community support. They demonstrate how collective efforts can foster community development, build stronger social bonds, and leave a lasting positive legacy. This commitment to giving back is a core part of their overall mission and identity. Now, let's take a closer look at the modern philanthropic efforts of Freemasons. Today, they are actively involved in a wide range of ongoing initiatives, from providing scholarships and supporting disaster relief efforts to backing healthcare and educational programs. These actions clearly demonstrate their strong commitment to community welfare and making a positive impact on people's lives through charitable work. Their contributions are not just limited to local communities. They also extend to global initiatives, highlighting their broad reach and dedication. By funding local charities and supporting worldwide projects, Freemasons are addressing key social issues such as education, healthcare, and disaster response. What's really important here is how these efforts improve quality of life and help build resilient communities, both close to home and across the world. This not only reinforces their relevance today, but also shows how their values translate into tangible, meaningful actions that benefit society at large. It's a powerful example of how tradition and modern philanthropy can go hand in hand to create real change. Let's explore the fascinating relationship between Freemasonry and architecture. Throughout history, Freemasonry has maintained a deep connection to the world of building and design. You see, many of the symbols and rituals within Freemasonry are actually rooted in the craft of stonemasonry and architectural principles. This connection isn't just superficial. It reflects a broader theme of building and creating, both literally and metaphorically. Freemasonry often uses architectural imagery to convey moral and philosophical lessons. For example, the tools of the stonemason, compasses, squares, levels, are symbolic of virtues like morality, balance, and integrity. These symbols serve as a way to teach members about personal development and ethical conduct. Furthermore, many famous buildings and landmarks associated with Freemasonry have added layers of meaning and mystery to its history. The architecture becomes a vessel for conveying secret knowledge and spiritual truths, reinforcing the idea that Freemasonry is about constructing a better self, and by extension, a better society. So, in essence, Freemasonry and architecture are intertwined as both a literal craft and a metaphor for spiritual and moral building. They remind us that the process of creating, whether a physical structure or a character, requires careful planning, skill, and a sense of purpose. This connection underscores the overall theme of our presentation, the importance of symbolic and practical building in shaping our understanding of the world and ourselves. Let's take a closer look at how Freemasonry has left its mark on architecture. You'll notice some truly iconic structures, like the United States Capitol, the House of the Temple in Washington, D.C., and the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania. These buildings aren't just impressive for their size or beauty, they also embody Masonic ideals through symbolic elements and intricate designs. It's a reflection of the craftsmanship and the community values that Freemasonry promotes. Now, beyond specific buildings, Freemasonry also influences architectural design through symbols like the square and compass. These aren't just tools or emblems, they represent morality and ethics, serving as guiding principles. You'll often see these motifs integrated into building facades, layouts, or decorative details, subtly merging aesthetic appeal with deeper philosophical meanings. So, in essence, Freemasonry's influence on architecture isn't just about grand structures. It's about embedding moral and philosophical values into the very fabric of our built environment. It's a fascinating way that symbolism and craftsmanship work together to reflect a broader worldview. As we look into city planning, it's fascinating to see how historical influences, particularly from Freemasonry, have shaped the way cities are designed. Freemasonry, with its ideals of order and harmony, played a significant role in creating symmetrical street layouts and public spaces that reflect these principles. You'll notice that many urban areas incorporate symbolic structures and landmarks, which serve not only functional purposes, but also communicate deeper aesthetic and community values. For example, in cities like Washington, D.C., the design is very much rooted in geometric principles that symbolize the fraternity's core values. The layout isn't just about practicality, it's about expressing ideas like harmony, enlightenment, and unity. Structures such as the U.S. Capitol and various Masonic temples were intentionally designed to embody these ideals, showcasing symmetry and balance, which are central to Masonic philosophy. So, in essence, Masonic principles have influenced city planning by emphasizing order, beauty, and community cohesion, elements that continue to shape the way we think about urban development today. This connection between symbolic design and city layout reminds us that urban planning is not just about functionality, but also about creating spaces that inspire and reflect our collective values. Now, let's take a closer look at the relationship between Freemasonry and religion. Throughout history, Freemasonry has often been perceived as a spiritual or philosophical organization rather than a religion itself. It emphasizes moral and ethical development, universal values, and the pursuit of truth. One key point is that Freemasonry is designed to be inclusive of men from all religious backgrounds. It requires a belief in a supreme being, which it refers to as the great architect of the universe, but it doesn't specify any particular faith or doctrine. This inclusivity highlights a core concept. Freemasonry aims to unite men across different religious beliefs through shared moral principles, rather than promote a specific religious dogma. It's important to understand that while Freemasonry respects religion, it does not replace or interfere with individual faiths. Instead, it seeks to complement them by fostering spiritual growth and moral integrity. This relationship is significant because it underscores the organization's focus on moral and spiritual development, which aligns with the overall theme of exploring hidden influences and the deeper connections between secret societies and broader societal values. Now, let's talk about Freemasonry's stance on religion and belief. It's important to understand that Freemasonry is not a religion itself. However, it does encourage members to believe in a supreme being, which reflects a respect for a higher power shared across many faiths. The key idea here is promoting tolerance among different religious beliefs. Freemasonry emphasizes moral conduct over specific doctrines, meaning that it values character and integrity more than particular religious teachings. This approach has sometimes led to misunderstandings, with some people thinking that Freemasonry is secretive or exclusive because of its spiritual openness. But in reality, the core principle is tolerance. Freemasonry encourages members to understand and respect diverse beliefs, fostering harmony in a pluralistic society. By embracing different perspectives, It exemplifies a commitment to unity and peaceful coexistence. Finally, it's crucial to recognize that the emphasis on tolerance helps break down barriers between faiths. It promotes a sense of brotherhood rooted in mutual respect, which is fundamental to the overall theme of unity that runs through the entire presentation. Let's talk about how Freemasonry connects with spirituality and different faiths. At its core, Freemasonry emphasizes shared moral values and personal growth that go beyond any single religious tradition. It's quite inclusive in that sense. The organization welcomes members from various religious backgrounds, which fosters meaningful interfaith dialogue. Despite these differences, Freemasonry maintains a commitment to a supreme being, often referred to as the great architect of the universe. This creates a unifying principle that brings diverse beliefs together. What's important to understand is that Freemasonry encourages each individual to explore their own spirituality. It promotes moral and ethical behavior as a foundation for personal development. Now, it's not a religion itself, but it definitely fosters a sense of brotherhood that transcends religious boundaries. Members are free to practice their faith while embracing shared values like integrity and charity. All of this ties back to the overall theme of the presentation: how Freemasonry is about building moral character and fostering unity through shared principles, regardless of religious differences. It's about creating a space where spiritual growth and brotherhood go hand in hand. As we look at the global reach of Freemasonry, it's truly fascinating to see how widespread and diverse its presence is around the world. Freemasonry isn't limited to one country or culture. It has established roots in virtually every corner of the globe. This worldwide network allows members from different backgrounds, languages, and traditions to connect under shared values of brotherhood, morality, and personal development. What's particularly interesting is how Freemasonry adapts to local customs while maintaining its core principles. This global presence highlights a universal appeal. People from various cultures find common ground through these ideals. It also underscores the influence and reach of the organization beyond just its historical origins, showing how it continues to foster international understanding and cooperation. Ultimately, this widespread presence reflects Freemasonry's enduring relevance and its commitment to building bridges across nations. It aligns perfectly with the overall theme of this presentation, emphasizing how Freemasonry serves as a global fraternity, uniting individuals in pursuit of common moral and philosophical goals. As we look at the worldwide presence of Freemasonry, it's clear that this organization has established itself across the globe, with millions of members from a wide variety of cultures and countries. Major bodies like the United Grand Lodge of England and the Grand Lodge of Scotland are well known, but there are also many regional and independent lodges. These groups all reflect their local customs and traditions, yet they stay connected through shared core principles that define Freemasonry itself. What's really fascinating is how Freemasonry adapts to different cultural contexts. For example, in Japan, you'll find rituals that blend Masonic traditions with Shinto elements, creating a unique fusion that respects local spiritual practices. Meanwhile, in Latin America, themes of social fraternity and community are prominent, resonating deeply with local heritage and social values. This ability to incorporate local symbols and traditions while maintaining the fundamental values of Freemasonry is a testament to its universal appeal and flexibility. It shows how the organization can stay relevant and meaningful across diverse societies, all while fostering a sense of brotherhood and shared purpose worldwide. This global and cultural adaptability is a core aspect of Freemasonry's enduring presence and influence. Now, let's take a closer look at how Freemasonry extends its reach through global initiatives. As you can see, Freemasonry is involved in a variety of international philanthropic projects. These efforts support vital areas like education, healthcare, and disaster relief across different countries. What's truly inspiring is how these initiatives often bring together Masons from around the world, highlighting their shared commitment to humanitarian causes. It's a beautiful example of how collaboration transcends borders, fostering a sense of unity and purpose. Moving on, The idea of international philanthropic projects emphasizes cross-border cooperation. Freemasonry promotes this through the mutual recognition of lodges, which means Masons in different countries acknowledge each other's memberships, making international collaborations smoother. They also work together on charitable efforts and even participate in global gatherings. These connections not only advance shared values, but also facilitate cultural exchange and strengthen fraternal bonds across nations. Overall, these initiatives demonstrate Freemasonry's deep-rooted interconnectedness and its dedication to making a positive impact worldwide. It's about more than just individual lodges. It's about building a global network committed to humanitarian efforts, embodying the universal principles that unite us all. Let's take a closer look at the internal structure and degrees involved in this system. First, it's important to understand that the internal structure refers to how the components are organized and interconnected within the system itself. This organization affects everything from efficiency to reliability. Now, when we talk about degrees, we're referring to the different levels or layers of complexity within that structure. Think of these degrees as layers of abstraction or specialization that help us manage and optimize the system. Understanding these degrees is crucial because it influences how we design, troubleshoot, and improve the system over time. It connects directly to the overall theme of optimizing performance and ensuring robustness. By exploring the internal structure and degrees, we're essentially uncovering the blueprint that guides how the entire system functions and evolves. This knowledge empowers us to make smarter decisions and create more effective solutions. Now, let's take a look at the Masonic ladder beyond the Blue Lodge. While the Blue Lodge covers the foundational degrees, Freemasonry also offers additional degrees through appendant bodies like the Scottish Rite and York Rite. These degrees serve to deepen our philosophical understanding and provide further opportunities for personal growth and community service within our Masonic tradition. The Scottish Rite, for instance, offers an impressive 29 extra degrees beyond the third degree. These focus on exploring profound philosophical teachings, moral lessons, and the history behind our principles. On the other hand, the York Rite consists of 3 primary degrees, emphasizing the historical development of Masonry and its traditions. Both paths are designed to enhance our knowledge and sense of responsibility as Masons, helping us grow not only as individuals, but also as members of a wider community. When we compare the two, the Scottish Rite tends to be more philosophical and esoteric, while the York Rite leans more toward history and tradition. Both offer valuable insights that complement our Blue Lodge experience and encourage us to reflect on our personal journey and purpose. Overall, these additional degrees remind us that Freemasonry is a lifelong pursuit of learning, moral development, and service, an ongoing ladder that elevates us spiritually and intellectually. Now, let's take a closer look at the roles and responsibilities within Freemasonry. Leadership here is structured in a clear hierarchy. At the top, you have the worshipful master, who is essentially the leader of the lodge, guiding its direction and ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Supporting him are the wardens and other officers, each with specific duties focused on managing lodge activities, guiding new members through initiation ceremonies, and maintaining the lodge's traditions. What's really important to understand is that every leader in Freemasonry is committed to upholding core Masonic values, like integrity, brotherhood, and service. These leaders help foster a sense of community and ensure that the lodge remains a place of personal growth and mutual support. Moving beyond individual roles, Freemasonry operates within a well-defined hierarchy. There are different degrees, each representing a level of knowledge, responsibility, and commitment. At the highest level, we have the Grand Lodges, which oversee regional lodges and ensure that the organization's traditions and standards are maintained across different areas. These regional lodges, in turn, are subdivided into smaller units, creating a structured chain of governance that promotes order, continuity, and the preservation of Masonic principles. This hierarchy not only keeps everything organized, but also helps maintain the integrity and consistency of Freemasonry's long-standing traditions worldwide. It's a system designed to support growth, uphold values, and ensure that each lodge is a place where brotherhood can flourish. Now, on this slide, I want to share some surprising facts that many people might not be aware of. These are the kinds of insights that can really change how you see the topic we've been discussing. First, did you know that some of the most common assumptions we make are actually wrong? It's fascinating how often our perceptions don't match reality. Next, there's a fact about the scale or impact that's pretty eye-opening, something that highlights just how significant this issue really is. These surprising points help reinforce the overall theme of the presentation, that understanding these lesser-known facts can lead to better decisions and more informed perspectives. So, as we move forward, keep these facts in mind. They're key to appreciating the full picture. Now, let's explore some lesser-known insights about Freemasonry that might surprise you. One interesting aspect is the tradition of using ancient symbols, which are often seen as mysterious, but they actually serve to convey moral and ethical teachings in a symbolic language that members understand deeply. Along with these symbols, Freemasons participate in unique handshakes and elaborate rituals. These rituals are not just ceremonies. They are designed to promote moral development, foster trust, and strengthen the bonds among members. What's really fascinating is that these ceremonies are often secretive, creating a sense of exclusivity and community that goes beyond public perception. They help members connect on a deeper level, embracing shared principles that guide their lives. Moving on to membership, you might be surprised to learn that Freemasonry has over 6 million members worldwide. And it's not just a Western phenomenon. There's been significant growth in non-Western countries, reflecting its expanding global reach. Interestingly, some branches of Freemasonry now include women, showing an evolving sense of inclusivity and adaptation to modern times. Finally, participating in Masonic activities is linked to increased community involvement and philanthropic efforts. Freemasons often engage in charitable work and community service, which highlights their commitment to making a positive impact beyond their rituals. So, these insights reveal that Freemasonry is a rich, evolving tradition that combines ancient symbolism with modern values of community and service. Many people have some misconceptions about Freemasonry, often thinking it's a secret society with hidden, perhaps even sinister, motives. But in reality, Freemasonry is much more about personal growth and moral development. It's a fraternity that emphasizes ethical behavior, charity, and community service. Contrary to the myths, Freemasons are not secretive in a negative sense. We value openness and transparency. Members come from all walks of life, backgrounds, and beliefs, and everyone is welcomed with open arms. The core of Freemasonry is about supporting each other in our personal journeys, fostering fellowship, and making positive contributions to society. So, when you hear myths about secrecy or sinister motives, remember that the real focus is on moral development, philanthropy, and creating a better community for all. This aligns perfectly with the overarching theme of personal and collective betterment that runs through our entire presentation. And so, as we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we've discussed. Throughout this presentation, we've explored how understanding these concepts can really make a difference in our approach and results. The main takeaway is that by applying these strategies thoughtfully, we can improve not only our individual performance, but also the overall success of our team. Remember, connecting these ideas to the bigger picture helps us stay focused and motivated. So, I encourage you to keep these insights in mind as you move forward, always looking for ways to implement and adapt them in your own work. Thank you for your attention and engagement. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to recap the major points we've explored today. Freemasonry is deeply rooted in history and tradition, emphasizing core values like morality, community service, and the pursuit of knowledge. These elements are central to its identity and purpose. We've also seen how its structured hierarchy and symbolism serve to foster understanding and unity among members. It's important to highlight that Freemasonry actively promotes philanthropy, demonstrating its commitment to giving back and making a positive impact. Throughout our discussion, we've aimed to dispel some common myths, showing that Freemasonry is quite inclusive and focused on personal growth and development. In closing, Freemasonry is a rich and complex organization with a long-standing heritage. By understanding its principles and history, we gain insights into the importance of community, charity, and self-improvement. Engaging with or learning about Freemasonry can deepen our appreciation for collective human experience and the values that unite us. Now, as we wrap up our exploration of Freemasonry, I want to point you towards some valuable resources for further study. First, there are several highly recommended books and articles that deepen our understanding of the subject. For example, Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages is a classic that explores esoteric traditions and the hidden knowledge behind many philosophical systems. It really opens up the broader spiritual and symbolic aspects of Freemasonry and related traditions. Another great read is W. Kirk McNulty's Freemasonry, A Journey Through Ritual and Symbol. This book provides a detailed look into Masonic practices, rituals, and the philosophical ideas that underpin them. It's a solid resource for anyone interested in the symbolism and deeper meanings within Freemasonry. Beyond books, there are also reputable online resources that can expand your understanding. Websites like the United Grand Lodge of England and the Masonic Service Association of North America are excellent starting points. They offer a wealth of information, from historical background and organizational details to educational content about Masonic principles. These resources are designed to help you connect the dots and appreciate the rich tradition and ongoing relevance of Freemasonry. Whether you're just curious or seeking a deeper knowledge, these materials support that journey. And of course, they connect to the broader themes we've discussed today about tradition, symbolism, and the pursuit of moral and spiritual growth. Thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate your time and attention throughout this presentation. As we come to the final slide, I want to leave you with a heartfelt thank you. It's been a pleasure sharing our journey and insights with you. Today's date, June 16th, 2025, marks a milestone for us, and I hope it's the beginning of many more collaborations and innovations ahead. I'd also like to acknowledge the Masonic audiobook library, which has been a vital resource and inspiration throughout our project. Its wealth of knowledge and dedication to learning truly embody the spirit of continuous growth that we aspire to. Again, thank you for your engagement and interest. I look forward to what we can achieve together in the future. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or ideas. Thanks once more, and have a great day.